Okay, so we're going to come to the front of the reformer. Heels together, toes apart. Lift the stomach, rib cage in, and think about the back of the neck, the back of the head, the back of the neck, lifting up to the ceiling. Scoop the arms forward, and go ahead and take one hand on top of the other. So you're going to press your forearms into each other. Keep that nice lift, weight slightly forward. Then you're going to send your hips back to the reformer. If you need to use your hands, use your hands. You come all the way down. Take the hands to either side of the frame. Go ahead and use your abdominals to scoop the stomach to lift the knees and swing yourself around and just place your feet on the frame of the reformer. Check your spring before you lie down. So I'm going to go under 3 springs. Some of you use 4. I'm going to use 3 today. And take a middle spring off. Use your hands on the front edge and go ahead and lie yourself down. Make sure you're centered. So just think about your head being right into the center of the shoulder blocks. Take your nose, look down your nose, pick your head up and just make sure that your feet are aligned with your heels are aligned with your pubic bone, belly button, and nose, just to make sure you're nice and centered. Take your arms down to the side, and then press your arms down. Think a little bit like chest expansion, but don't let that rib cage pop. Heels together, toes apart, making sure all 10 toes are pressing, and lift the heels just a little bit. Make sure you're not tucking, so a nice flat pelvis. Maybe you have a little bit of an arch underneath your low back, that's okay. But press your rib cage down and feel the back of the neck and the roof of the mouth kind of reaching to the wall behind you. From here, we're going to go for 10 on toes. So we're going to inhale, press out, and exhale, resist in. Think about pulling away from your heels. Make sure when you press out that rib cage isn't popping. So your spine and your pelvis are sticking onto the mat. The heels aren't moving either. We've got 5 more. Inhale, press away. Exhale, come in. And 6, and in, and 7, in, 8, in, 9, control it in, don't let it crash. Last one, press away and resist it in. Onto the arches. So right at the top of the foot, if you can, with the toes reaching over and the heels reaching under. Legs are squeezing together. Try to think about being a little bit more on the outside edge of the foot so that you can lift your arch. Go ahead and same thing. We're going to inhale, press away. What's happening with the rib cage? What's happening with the pelvis? And resist the carriage home. Press it away. Pull the carriage home. Press away. Pull the carriage home. That's 3. And 4. 5. 6. Keep lengthening as you go. 7. 8. Feel like you're pulling yourself out of your hips. 9. And we're on our last one. Reach and resist. Straight onto your heels, okay? So you're going to pull the tops of the feet all the way back. Still think about pressing your arms down, do chest expansion, rib cage drops, okay? Back of the head, reaching. Press away. And in. And reach away. And as you come in, think about the tops of the feet pulling back even more. And in, those inner thighs are squeezing, your outer hips are wrapping, those sit bones are pulling together, and the spine isn't moving. Let's go 4 more. Press away and pull. And press and resist. And reach, lengthen and pull. And last one, press away and in. Come back onto your toes, feet a little bit closer than they were for your actual toes footwork. We're going on to tendon stretch now. So maybe about 2 or 3 finger distance apart. Those heels are squeezing together. Make sure you're not tucking. Feel that weight of your tailbone and the weight of your baby ribs. Press on out. Hold it here. Get your bum working, right? So squeeze your bottom a little bit. Get those sit bones pulling together. The kneecaps don't want to be rolling in and out, okay? So if you need to have a quick look at what your leg's doing, you can always pick your head up But as long as you keep that wrap of the sit bones and the heels squeezing together and the rib cage down, everything else should kind of fall into place. Got 5 more. And lift. And lift. And resist under. So feel like the top of the head's reaching to the wall behind. And last one. Bend the knees and control the carriage in. Okay, we've got a transition for the 100. Okay, so you're going to have one foot that goes underneath the foot bar. The other foot's going to go down towards the springs so that you can guide the little kickstand out of the way. So you're going to lift with the foot and then press away with the other foot and then guide the foot all the way down. Move yourself a little bit further away from your shoulder blocks to give yourself some space. Go ahead and reach behind you and grab your handles. Take the elbows down to your rib cage onto the mat. Pull the knees into the chest. And then have a little bit of tension on your straps just to help you lift the head, neck, and shoulders. You should feel this in your upper abs. When you're ready, you're going to reach into your arms to open the springs, but you want to feel the rib cage go back. Press. The legs are going to come straight up to the ceiling, or you can keep them bent. From here, we're going to go for the 100, okay? So reach from your armpits, soft elbows. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 20. 30. 40. 50. Inhale. Exhale. 60. Bigger pumps if you can. Extend the legs if you can. 80. Reach further for the last step. Bend the knees and control the carriage home. Take the handles into one hand. Use your other hand and help sit up. So you're just going to sit up however you need to. And you're going to come down to 2 springs. Okay, so whatever springs you're on, you're going to come down to 2. We're going to stand up. We're going to go to the end of the carriage. You're going to take the handle into one hand. So you've got the wooden handle. And you're going to take your leather. So we're setting up for feet and straps. So I've got the handle and the leather on the palm of my hand. I'm going to take my black extension strap. I'm threading it through both the wooden handle and the leather loop, making sure there are no twists in the black strap. I'm going to hook it up, and then I'm going to make sure that the hardware of the black strap, so the clip of the black strap, is on the outside of the Reformer as I hook it back on to the little eye hook. So don't hook it onto the shoulder blocks, hook it onto the eye hook. Same thing, wooden handle, leather loop, black strap, thread it through, making sure there's no twists or kinks, and take the hardware, the clip, to the outside edge and hook it onto your little eye hook. Come again to the front edge of your Reformer. Go ahead and reach the arms forward, pull the stomach in and up, sit down. Hands to the outside edge, swivel yourself around. Make sure you're centered. This is where you need to center yourself, so you can think about where the springs are. So your sit bone, so your tailbone, your pubic bone, want to be right in the center of those 2 springs, the middle springs. Lie yourself down. Go ahead and grab your black straps. And then you're going to try to get your feet in the straps as opposed to straps on your feet. So you're just going to lift your hips, so knees towards armpits, lift your hips, and then place your feet in the straps. Then go ahead and pull your feet towards your bottom. Okay, so the right arm arches. I'm going to find that weight of the tailbone again. So for me, I need to send my knees a little bit further out to get them over my hips so I can feel a little bit more sense of weight into my tailbone. My rib cage definitely has to sink down. And again, I'm thinking about my neck or like the back of my head sliding up this little headrest. Arms are pressing, heels are squeezing. Go ahead, press out from the back of the thighs, so you're using the hamstrings, and we're going to press out and control it in. And we're just going to do 5. So press away and in. Press away, working to control the ribs and the pelvis. So everything that's touching the mat isn't moving. And last one, reach away and pull in. Now reach away and hold. We have our circles. So the legs are going to come towards you. Keep that tailbone down so the spine remains long. Take it out just to the width of the reformer. Press down from the sit bones and squeeze. So if you're in a turnout, in that external rotation, the thigh bones are going to stay like that. So I don't want to see the kneecaps rolling in and out. If they're in a turnout, they stay turned out the whole time. If you're in parallel, they stay in parallel the whole time. Think about your rib cage. Remember, you can always lift your head up if you're unsure about trying to get it into your abs. Make this your last one in this direction, and let's reverse. So we're going to press it down, open, up, and squeeze. Reach away, open, up, and squeeze. Press away, open, up, and squeeze. Last 2, press away, open, up, and squeeze. And you're on your last one, and in. From here, go ahead and bend the knees. Take your straps off. Be careful they don't hit you in your face. And take them over your head. And drop them into the well. We don't need them again. So we're going to sit up. Spin yourselves around. Come to standing. We have our our stomach massage now. So you want to grab your sticky pad. And you're going to have it just about a hand's width from the edge of the reformer. So you can be further away if you were tighter in your hips, or if you want to challenge yourself, it can come closer. But a good place to start is your hand's width. You're going to go back to your footwork spring, so whether it's 3 or 4, I'm going to go back to 3. My foot bar is going to come up. Then I'm going to center myself back on the reformer. So we're going to send the hips down. Take my feet. Swivel myself around and make sure again that I'm nice and centered. Hands come to the front edge, and then you're going to place one foot on and the other foot. Okay, so we want to not sink, we want to find that lift. It's like you're trying to pull your sternum over your rib cage as though your armpits are stacked right on top of your hip points, okay? So I'm not leaning back, I'm up and over. So from here, the heels are squeezing together. And I'm going to feel like I can pull my stomach in so deeply that it's going to come out the other side, and it's my tailbone or my low tummy that's pressing the carriage out. But I'm still lifting the rib cage and that sense of lift through the back of the neck. So we press out. We lower the heels. Now I'm lifting the heels from my stomach. Lift from the stomach and pull the carriage in, keeping the heels lifted. Inhale, press, lower, lift and in, and press. Lower, lift and in, and reach, lower, lift and in, and 4 more, lower, lift and in, and 3, lower, lift and in, and 2, lower, lift and in, last 1, lower, lift and in. Now, if you're on 4 springs, you want to come down to 3. If you're on 3 springs, you have an option of keeping it at 3 or taking it down a spring. So I'm going to keep it at 3. But if you want to take a spring off, you can either take your feet back onto the frame and come and take a spring off. The hands dive through the center. Otherwise, your challenge will be to keep your feet on the foot bar, dive through, and take a spring off. Okay, so the hands are going to come back behind you. Make sure if you've got rings on to spin them around. I don't want to come back to holes in my upholstery from big rock diamond rings. So the hands are going to either come behind you where you're on your knuckles, and you're going to again think about your armpits being over your hips, chest is wide. Or you can have the hands on the shoulder blocks and the same thing. So think the chest is lifted, gaze is looking forward, and my spine is again up and over. Pressing from the low belly and the tailbone, going for 10. Inhale, press away, lower, lift and in. You want to feel that you're pressing from your center, not your arms. 5 more. and 4, and 3, and 2, and last 1, and come in, and this time we all take a spring off. So dive the hand through the center, or take your feet down, however you need to do it. Going for that reach. So I quite like the idea of my arm bones being parallel to my thigh bones to find that lift. A little bit of softness through the elbow, press out. Now I like to hold it and see if I can get more lift. Like I'm reaching forward. Imagine I got the back of the head or the neck and I'm reaching you up. And in, no lift and lower, press out. And in, watch those shoulders. And in, press out. Resist it in like you're pulling yourself in. Those heels stay still in space. And 5, in, 4, in, 3, in, 2, and in. We're going to add in a twist. So we're going to press out. So as we press out, let's twist to the right first. You're going to open up your arms. So we twist and reach. Now, I'm not leaning back. Keep that weight forward. And reach. Look behind you. Come in, bend the knees. Press out and twist. Twist. Open the chest. And in. One more each way. Press out and reach. Keep the weight forward. And in. Sternum over pubic bone. And in. Take the hands down. Take the feet off. Spin yourself around. And come to standing. We're going for short box now. So we got our short box series. So the foot bar comes down. You will need your sticky pad. You're going to stay on 2 springs. The headrest comes down. And you're going to grab your box and grab your pole at the same time. So the box goes over the headrest, the shoulder blocks, between the 2 little pins at the back. Make sure your box is centered. Put your pole just in that little area there so it doesn't move. And grab your sticky pad. And your sticky pad kind of wants to go right into the center of the box, about a hand's width from the back edge. So you're going to grab your, if you know that you're going to need a magic circle for your tree, now is the time to also grab that. So you can grab it and just have the magic circle placed either by your side or on the front edge of the carriage. So go ahead and grab your strap, sit your bum on, and then hook your feet underneath the strap. So we're going to do 3 to 5 of these, probably 5, it's better for us. So we're going to squeeze your bottom, you're going to reach the heels. Okay, so really think about flexing the feet. So as you flex the feet, you get that nice length through the whole back of the leg. Pressing down with the hamstrings to lift the waist, and you're going to go for your hug. Okay, so I'm pressing my forearms. I'm going to hook my sternum over my rib cage. I'm going to lift myself up and over. There's my round back. It's my lifted round back. My bum is working and my hamstrings are working. From here, you're going to roll back. So the pelvis rolls underneath you. You're reaching away. So I like to think the hip points are pulling, the waist is pulling, the rib cage is pulling, the back of my throat is pulling, and you just go to where you can, and then you're going to reverse it. So I'm going to lift up and over now. So my sternum is going to lift up and over my rib cage. My rib cage is going to lift up and over my waist. I'm pressing down with my hamstrings to get more lift, and my waist is up and over my pelvis. And again, so we're going to roll back. Maybe inhale to roll back if you stop breathing. Where are your hamstrings? Where are your glutes? Where's your rib cage? And then lift yourself up and over as you press down to try to get out of your quads. And we go back. So hip points, waist, rib cage, back of the throat, but the crown of my head still lifting up to the ceiling. And I come forward, sternum over ribs. Ribs are lifting over my waist. My waist is lifting over my pelvis, and my hamstrings are still pressing down. And again, rock it back. Tailbone under. See if you can go further. And up and over. Squeeze your bottom, lift your waist, press your hamstrings down. Last one, roll it back. And press down into that box. Feel the feet working. Reach the heels. Lift your bum. And up and over. Grab your pole while you're down there. Shoulder distance, make sure you're equal on that pole. Nice straight wrists. Thumbs with fingers, reach the arms out. Slight bend in the elbow, okay? Slight bend. You feel like you can pull it apart. Feel those kind of armpits working. Reach out. Now keep reaching up, but only go as high as you can control your rib cage and your shoulders. Okay, so now I'm going up, 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 up. Then I'm going to hinge from my pelvis. Keep the ribs in. Keep looking down the nose, onto your cheekbones, and then press down into the straps, into the box to lift back up. So we're going to lengthen back and press down to come up. And lift up and reach back, no sinking, lengthen even more to come back up. Last one, reach. Strong legs and up. Roll the shoulders, getting ready for side to side. Reach the arms forward, find those connections again. Nice straight wrists, slight bend in the elbow. Take the arms up, lift up. Now remember, we don't sink, we go up. That opposite hip wants to stay down as you reach up and out of your waist and center. We go higher each time. Oh, and center, lift, and reach, reach, reach. Center, lift. Don't sink in the center like I am this time. One more each way. Reach. Last one. And take the pole down and put it in. Now, you've got your tree next. So if you have your magic circle, remember you can just have the foot in it and you can limber. That's an option. You can limber, hold, and do the same thing that we're going to do, but that idea of the circle gives you that little bit extra length through the leg or through the arms. So let's unhook one leg. Make sure you're centered on your box. So make sure those sit bones are pressing down. Lift the spine. And without using your hands to grab your thigh and just yank it up there, feel like you can lift your thigh from your stomach and nothing should change in your spine at all or your weight or anything. So we lift. Then take the hands behind the thigh. Lift up. Elbows wide. This leg that's in the strap is your supporting leg, so it's working hard. Keep the spine lifted and don't let it react to the leg. So we go for 3, for 2, for 1, and hold. Then you're going to walk your hands up your leg to wherever you can get to. You're going to lift yourself up even taller. So feel like you're not sinking. Feel like you're growing. The sideways, the obliques. Elbows are going to bend. I do not move my leg. I go to it. So if you need to lower your leg, you can. Okay? Otherwise, it's like you're trying to kiss your knee. My elbows are wide. There's my stretch. It feels great. Now as I rock back, I'm only going to rock back to the point that I can keep my hip point square. So I'm going to rock it back. I'm going to walk down my leg a little bit. If that's not something you've done or we've done in class, you're just going to press your leg forward, okay? And start again. Otherwise, we walk down the leg and you're going to roll back. You're going to lengthen away, trying to keep everything square. Then the rib cage, sternum over rib cage over waist. And it's like you're trying to pull your nose towards your knee and then lower the leg. And lift. And we go again. We round. We'll rock it back. Walk down the leg, but lengthen away. Feel like the whole back of your throat is pulling back. And up. Feel like you're lengthening up and over something. Everything's pulling back as you're coming forward. Nose to knee. And lift. Last time. Round forward. Take it back. Walk down the leg. Lengthen away. Sternum over rib cage. Rib cage up and over waist. Those hip points are still trying to pull back onto the box. Even as I come up, I'm in a rounded shape. And then come forward And now I can lift. Switch legs. So again, square off. Make sure you're equal. Lift from the stomach, then take the hands. And we go for 3, reach. 2, reach. 1 and reach. Walk up the leg wherever you can get to. Lift the spine. Make sure those hips are square, so now's the chance if you just need to shift it around a little bit, you can. Bend the elbows. Remember, I'm not taking my leg to me, I'm going to it. And each side will be different. Those inner thighs are working. I'm going to rock it back and walk down the leg. So just go a little bit, but feel like you're lengthening away. Feel like you're pulling out of your hip. The waist is pulling away from the pelvis, and the throat's pulling away from the ribs. You're finding length. As you come up, try to keep the back of the pelvis glued to the box for as long as possible. So you're trying again, think about coming up and over. Lift yourself up and over. There's your round shape. Press the leg from the hamstring. Then lift up at the bottom. And again, wide elbows. Round it back. Your leg, the supporting leg in the strap is still working. That bum cheek and hamstring to support it. Walk down the leg, lengthen away like you're being pulled away from your heel. And then round up, again, trying to think about this pelvis staying open, or the hip point staying open as long as possible. So again, your round shape. Rock it forward, and lift tall. Last time, round. Rock it back. Walk it down. Lengthen away. Pull yourself away from the heel. Up we come. Round it up. Lift it up, and then press it down. Bend the knee, and then from here we step off. We're going to step off to the side. So we're going to think we have elephant next. So for elephant, you're going to get rid of your sticky pad because you don't need it for elephant, but it goes back. The foot bar will come up for elephant. You are in 2 springs for elephant. Grab your pole, grab your box at the same time. Okay? And then you're going to take the box to the back of the reformer, and your pole can go back into the well. Now remember, when we get on for elephant, do not pull. Remember? Press. So we'll go the hand furthest away first, then the leg, hand, leg, hand, foot, hand, foot. Walk the heels back to where you normally go, but dig the heels down and make sure you're not rocking on either side of your foot. So you want all 10 toe knuckles pressing down. The tendency is to roll off your big toe, okay? Make sure your knees aren't doing anything weird. They want to be nicely aligned. Press your hips back so that your hips are over your heels and you're really reaching from your armpits. And the top of the head is reaching down towards the springs. My shoulders are staying still. My rib cage is lifted up to the ceiling and my tailbone is down to the floor. And we're going to go for 5. We're pressing with the heel of the hand. So we press away and we pull. Press and resist. Press and resist. 2 and resist. And last one and resist. Again, do not pull on the bar. You're going to come down onto your knees for your knee stretches. So make sure your toes, and you're trying to get the back of the heels connected as much as you can. Carriage stays closed. You're in that round shape, okay? So the rib cage is lifted. Your ears are by your upper arm bones, and again, it's almost like your armpits are going to stay just above the springs, and I'm pressing with the heel of my hand. I'm going to round back. From here, we're going to go for 10. So we're going to press out and in, out and in, out, in, out, in, out, in, 4, in, 3, in, 2, in, 1, in. Reverse the curve. So you're in your round back now. You're just going to extend. So you're going to pull your chest forward as the shoulder blades go down. Now imagine that the pelvis isn't going to move. We're going to go the same thing. Press out and in. Keep it small. In, in, in. Keep those low abdominals on, press from the back of the legs. Remember, you're still dragging the carriage in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, knees off if you can. You're going to go to round back. Imagine your rib cage is being hammocked from the ceiling. And then from here, we're just going to go for 5, okay? Shoulders down, crown of the head, down towards the springs, rib cage up, and then just lift the knees. They want to be at shoulder height. Slight bend in the elbow, and press, and pull, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower down with control. Step off to the side. You're on your home stretch. Add your footwork springs back. So I was on 3. You might have been on 4. Spin yourself around. Find that lift. Reach the elbow points forward. Weight slightly forward. Send the hips back. Remember, use your hands if you need to. Arms. Scoop. Swivel. Center yourself. And lower down. Head rest up. Place the balls of the feet on and you're in parallel. Find your tailbone, find your rib cage. From here, press out. Lift the heels and connect the feet to your bum. Okay, so the bum is squeezing a little bit. My rib cage is down. I'm thinking about my obliques to control my pelvis from rocking from side to side. So as one heel drops under, the knee bends on the opposite leg. Press up. Switch. Get a little bit of a flow going, but only when it's controlled. So the hips aren't sashaying. There shouldn't be any movement on the carriage at all. And we go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Keep the heels lifted, bend the knees, and come on in. Take your arches to the outside edges of the foot bar. Your knees are tracking with your second and third toe. Press your arms down. Do not let the carriage move, and you're going to lift your pelvis, okay? Now think about reaching it away. So it wants to be length, okay? And you're and trying to be in a neutral pelvis, okay? Now from here, imagine that you're trying to drag your feet down the foot bar isometrically, so you get your hamstrings working. And then you're trying to pull your feet in, so you get a little bit of inner thigh. Rib cage is down. Press out from your rib cage and pull in. Press out from your rib cage and hamstring curl in. Press out. Pull in. Press out. Eyes looking straight up to the ceiling. And in. Think about where your neck is as well. It wants to be nice and lengthened. And 3, 2, and last one. Pull it all the way in. Trickle down through your spine slowly. Take your feet and knees to the center. And then pull your knees into your chest. It's always nice to finish with a little hug. You can rock from side to side. And breathe. And you are finished.
One final thing, please make sure you wipe down the equipment and make sure everything is put back in its regular position. So the foot bar is up, the sticky pad is underneath where the springs are. There are 4 springs on, the headrest is up, wooden handles are placed back on the hooks, your extension straps are placed back on the end of the frame of the reformer, and your box and the wooden pole is put away. Thank you.